Yo, welcome back to another workout with your boy. If you're not subscribed already, please make sure you are. It's going to be a great video and many more are on the way. We're hitting shoulders today. This is one of my favorite and super simple shoulder workouts. This is going to get you gains if you follow this workout. It's a guarantee. I had a few people reach out to me about training and whether or not I offer online training. Well, good news for you guys because I have dropped an email address in the description. Reach out to me if you're interested. I've used coaches in the past and it makes a world of difference in your training and in your dieting. That's what I'll be doing, is putting together a custom workout plan for you along with a custom diet plan, holding you accountable with weekly progress check-in photos until we accomplish that goal that you're after. So drop me an email if you're interested. Happy to chat and help you guys out in any way that I can. But jumping into the video, we are starting off with one of my favorite movements, which is a rotator cuff warm-up exercise with a dumbbell. When you first start off doing this, you'll probably start off with only a 5-pound or a 10-pound dumbbell, and you'll move up in weight as you go on. You'll actually build some strength, and these are building your shoulders, not only just warming you up. And as you go into the heavier weights, you're going to gain that strength and you're going to see all of your other lifts go up. Your bench press is going to go up, your shoulder press is going to go up. You're going to add some size, so great movement to start off with. Now we are jumping into the seated dumbbell shoulder press, which is really starting off this workout. Starting off with a quick warm-up set just to get the feeling going, and then jumping into a 5-rep range for this movement. I go heavy on these. I like to incorporate some powerlifting kind of style into my workouts just to mix things up and feel that heavy weight in my hands. Really gets me going. So let's do that. I'm cranking these out. And I want to reflect to on another question I had asked to me, was what got me into working out and how have I stayed with it for so long? Well, I first started working out when I was a young man. I was 14 or 15 years old. And back then, there weren't really a lot of 14 and 15-year-olds going to gyms. It was super rare. So I actually started off working out in my school's gym with football. And seeing those other kids, lift some weights that were heavier than mine, heavier than I was lifting, it inspired me to become the strongest kid in my high school. So what I did was I dropped football altogether and I just focused on weightlifting. I got with that commercial gym and I actually got a job in this gym. It was my very, very first job. I was a janitor. So I was wiping down machines and equipment. I was vacuuming. Also, they had me go out and put flyers on cars in the mall parking lot to advertise the gym. So I'd run around from security, try not to get caught. And that was my very first job, fun fact. But anyways, eventually, I did become the strongest in my high school, and I was still aesthetic too. I didn't just eat a bunch of pizza and donuts and get fat, but I really took it seriously. I was able to gain some heavy muscle and stuck with it. At the same time, I was actually on the bodybuilding miscellaneous forums, which there might be some of you who don't know what a forum is. It's pretty much like a message board. It was very common back in the day before like Instagram started to pop off. But I was a member of those forums, and I met someone who you guys might know. His name was Ziz, and we used to chat back and forth in 2010 up until 2011, whenever he passed away. So I was actually in direct communication with him, and we were kind of pen pals online, just talking about funny stuff. And he's definitely a core inspiration for me still. Love the way that his mentality was, and to this day I'm still inspired by the guy. We're moving along now to a great superset that I love. I've been doing this movement or this superset combination for years. It's the Arnold Press superset with dumbbell side lateral raises. And on the Arnold presses, I'm actually building, you'll see my chest. I'm activating that chest all the way through the movement, especially at the bottom. I had someone ask me at the gym the other day how I'd recommend to build an upper chest, and I told him Arnold presses because it is such a great exercise. If you maintain that tension, guys, you're going to add mass to the upper chest. And then of course, with the side delt raises, we are building that width and making us wider. Look in the mirror too as you do these. The mirror is there for a reason, so you can track your gains workout by workout. Make sure that you're actually seeing your side delts fire on this exercise. Now going back to the main question of kind of the longevity and why I've stuck with it. Guys, the alternative is really not a great alternative. The alternative to not working out and not dieting is being skinny, frail, skinny fat, not really having much going on besides, work or school or whatever. It gives you something to do, and the alternative to not doing it is really not one that I want to be a part of. So, yeah, that's pretty much the reason for me sticking with it. And at this point, I followed so many routines and I've done so many diets. I've tried so many things that there's really not much new for me to dive into. But it's more at this point avoiding the alternative and doing this for as long as I can, just to challenge myself and give me something to do. We're gonna go ahead and finish off this exercise. And right after I'm done, you see me going into doing a little bit of flexing of the shoulders. This is good because it has been said to harden muscle, and I do believe there is some validity to that because I have noticed gains from holding a little bit of posing once I'm done with some of these good sets. Now moving along into dumbbell front raises. This is a great one that I recently incorporated back into my training, and I've seen some gains from it in the front delts. On these, it's important to keep the core tight and your chest out. It's easy if you don't pay attention because you'll mess up the form at the top if you slouch over. You want to be sure that you're keeping everything tight. You want to sit tall. You'll hear me say that a lot, sitting tall, keeping that core tight and that chest out. Even at the bottom, you see me holding that form, holding my arms straight. You want to try as much as you can to keep tension even at the bottom. Another thing with me lifting and staying in the gym is that I'm able to give back to you guys, to motivate, inspire. I've really been allowed now to make some videos for you guys. It's something that I wasn't doing in the past. I was kind of just doing it, working out selfishly for personal gain, but now I can actually give back. I have full video set up now, and I have the means to bring you guys the top quality content that you're gonna find. I try to make it better and better with each video, and hopefully this is a good content experience for you guys to watch. Up to this point, I've done most of this workout with a seat and dumbbells, and it goes to show that you don't really need the best or biggest variety of equipment to make serious gains. But I will say it definitely does help once you're more advanced, but you have to work with what you got, and this is what we got right now. There is a new gym opening up down the street for me, so looking forward to that with more equipment. We're moving along to cable front raises. This one's different from what we've done so far out of those other movements. On this, we're actually using the cable, and it allows us to get that the full tension. We're having tension on our muscle the entire movement. With the dumbbells, it kind of stops traditionally whenever you get to the bottom of it or when you're at the top of the movement. On this, constant tension, and we love that because it allows us to hit the muscle in a different way. Go heavy on these. Don't be scared. You can go super, super heavy. And since we're doing our rotator warm-up exercises in the beginning, we're adding more onto that strength, and it's allowing us to not only grow, but also get stronger all around. Another point on this exercise that I want to iterate is that as you pull up with that cable and that attachment, is you should be keeping the attachment as close to your body as possible. So as you watch me on these, I'm coming up and it almost looks like I'm coming up in a straight line, like the cable itself is fixed. However, I've trained myself over time to mentally be sure that I am staying in a parallel motion as I pull from the ground. On this movement, this is the classic, of course, you're in a fixed position, but you want to imagine, and I've heard this so many times from bodybuilders over the years, and I've given out the advice so many times to people in the gym who have asked me how to do this exercise. You want to pretend like whenever you're all the way at the stretched out position, that you're pouring out a glass of water or a pitcher of water. And then as you come in, you're bringing that glass or pitcher of water parallel and repeating on every rep. This allows you to open up those rear delts for the maximum contraction. As I'm doing this exercise, I want to be sure that I'm focusing as much as I can on the mind-muscle connection between my brain and the rear delts. Rear delts are a very hard muscle group for people to build, but it does come from the mind-muscle connection, and it's going to help you progress very much once you get to the point where you are building more fibers and you're building more mass ultimately. As you build the muscle bigger, your mind-muscle connection is able to increase because you're building more fibers, believe it or not. So just keep at it. If you don't feel that mind-muscle connection at first when you start off with this movement, just keep doing it, and over time you're going to build that connection and you're going to make more gains. It's really a compound effect on this. I like to throw in a few different exercises for rear delts besides just the rear delt fly machine. Sometimes I'll do cables, other times I'll do dumbbells on a bench. It really just depends on what I'm feeling, and if you've watched some of my past shoulder workouts on this channel, you've seen me switch it up. It purely comes down to preference and whatever I'm feeling that day. But I'll show you guys a few different arrangements and a few different movements in future videos. That is it for the video. If you watched this far, please drop a like if you found this helpful. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and stay tuned for the next ones. Peace out.